at stage 3, paragraph page 186. Okay, and our last headword was accent, newer type of lesson. Okay, so let's start with revision. Ready?
Yep.
Okay, here you go. First question. What's the difference between a road and a street? What's the difference between a road and a street? The difference
The
between a
difference
road
between
and a
road and
street
street
is that a
is a
road is
road
generally in the
is
country
generally in the
and connects
country
two
and
towns,
next
whereas a
towns,
street
whereas
is
the
in a
street
town
is a
and
town
generally has shops in it.
generally have shops in it.
Do you live in a road or a street? Do you live in a road or a street? I live in
I
a.
live in a street.
Very good. Okay, next again. What's this? What's this? It's a line.
It's a line.
Are there a lot of lines on an old person's face? Are there a lot of lines on an old person's face? Yes,
Yes,
there's a lot
there are a
of
lot of
lines
lines
on an
on
old person's face.
old person's face.
Very good. Is this a crooked line? Is this a crooked line? No, it
No,
isn't
it
a
isn't
crooked line.
crooked line.
It's a straight line.
It's a straight line.
Where is the road between New York and California straight? Is the road between New York and California straight? No, the
No, it
road
isn't
between.
straight. The
No,
road is
the
straight.
what? No, the
No,
road between
the road
New York and
between New
California
York
isn't
and
straight.
California isn't
It's
straight.
crooked.
It's crooked.
After drinking a bottle of whiskey, can people walk in a straight line? After drinking a bottle of whiskey, can people walk in a straight line? No.
After
After drinking a bottle of
drinking,
whiskey,
uh, after drinking a bottle of
people
whiskey,
can't walk in a
people
straight
can't
line.
walk
They
in a
walk
straight
in a
line.
crooked line.
They walk. They walk
In
crooked
a
line
in a crooked line.
in a crooked line.
Is ABC Street crooked? Is ABC Street crooked? No.
No,
ABC Street isn't
ABC Street
crooked.
isn't
It's straight.
crooked. It's straight.
Does the sun always shine? Does the sun always shine? No. The sun
No,
doesn't
the
always
sun
shine.
doesn't always shine.
Sometimes it shines,
Sometimes
and
it shines,
sometimes the
and
sky is
sometimes
covered
the
with
sky
clouds.
is covered with clouds.
Is it always hot in France? Is it always hot in France? No,
No,
it isn't
it isn't
always hot
always
in
hot
France.
in town.
Sometimes it's hot
Sometimes
and
it's hot,
sometimes it's
and
cold.
sometimes it's cold.
Is Easter always in March? Is Easter always in March? No,
No,
Easter isn't
Easter
always in
isn't
March.
always in March.
Sometimes it's in
Sometimes
March,
in March.
and
Sometimes
sometimes it's in April.
it's and sometimes it's in April.
Do you always get up at the same time every morning? Do you always get up at the same time every morning? No, I
No,
don't
I don't get
always
up
get up
always.
at the
I
same
don't
time.
always get. Sorry,
Huh?
I
No,
don't get up
one
always.
more. No, I don't always get up
I don't
at
always
the
get
same
up
time
at
every
the same
morning.
time every morning.
Sometimes I get up early, and
Sometimes I get up
sometimes I
early,
get up late.
and sometimes I get up late.
Where does the government of your country make the laws of the country? Does the government of your country make the laws of the country? Yes, the
Yes,
government of my
the
country
government of my
makes the
country
laws of the
makes the
country.
laws of my country.
Where on which side of your body is your heart? On which side of your body is your heart? My heart is on the
My
left
heart
side
is
of my body.
my heart is on the left side of my body.
Very good. Okay, what's the difference between the words quick and quickly? What's the difference between the words quick and quickly? The difference between the
The
words
difference
quick
between
and
the
quickly
word of quick
is
and
that quick
quickly
is
is
an
that
adjective,
quick is an
whereas
adjective,
quickly is an
whereas
adverb.
quickly is an adverb.
Give me an example of the difference. Give me an example of the difference, please. He is a quick
He
writer.
is he is a quick
He
writer.
writes quickly.
Writes quickly.
Do you speak English quickly? Do you speak English quickly? No, I
No,
don't
I
speak
don't speak
English
English
quickly, but I speak it
quickly, but I speak
quickly
in
enough.
but quickly.
Very good. One more. No, I don't speak English quickly,
No, I don't speak English
but I
quickly,
speak it quickly enough.
but I speak quickly enough.
Very good. Do people generally walk slowly when the weather is cold? Do people generally walk slowly when the weather is cold? No.
Yes.
People don't generally walk.
No,
People
no.
don't
People
generally walk slowly
generally walk slowly
when the weather
eh,
is cold.
when the weather is
They
cold.
walk quickly.
They walk quickly.
Very good. Can you text as quickly as you can speak? Can you text as quickly as you can speak? No, I can't
No,
text as quickly
take
as I
as
can speak.
quickly as I can speak.
I text more slowly
I speak
than
slowly
I
than
speak.
I speak.
Very good. What's the opposite of deep? What's the opposite of deep? The opposite of
The
deep
opposite of
is
deep
shallow.
is shallow.
Very good. Is the river Thames deeper than the Mediterranean Sea? Is the river Thames deeper than the Mediterranean Sea? No, the river
No,
Thames isn't
the
deeper
theme
than
isn't
the
deeper
Mediterranean
than
Sea.
the Mediterranean Sea.
It's shallower than the
It's shallower
Mediterranean
than
Sea.
the Mediterranean Sea.
Very good. Okay. Next, do people study subjects deeply at university? Do people study subjects deeply at university? Yes.
Yes,
People study
people
subjects
study
deeply
subjects
at university. Deeply
deeply
at
at the university.
university. Very good. Do you smoke? Do you smoke? Yes or no?
No, I don't smoke.
Which person in your family smokes the most? Which person in your family smokes the most? My father is the
My
person
father in
in
my
my
is
family
in my
who
family
smokes the
to
most.
smoke the most.
How many cigarettes does he smoke a day? How many cigarettes does he smoke a day? He smokes
He
two
smokes
cigarettes a day.
he smokes 2 cigarettes a day.
Right. When people smoke, where do they put the ash? When people smoke, where do they put the ash? When people smoke,
When people
they put
smoke,
the ash in
they
an
put the
ashtray.
ash in
In an
ashtray.
ashtray.
In
Uh,
an ashtray.
if you arrive too early at the station, what must you do? If you arrive too early at the station, what must you do? If I arrive
If
too
if
early
I
at the station,
I arrive too early at the
I must
station, I
wait for
must
the
wait
train.
for the train.
Right? Do you like waiting? Do you like waiting? No, I
No,
don't like
I don't
waiting.
like
I
waiting.
dislike waiting.
I just like waiting.
If you arrive here at the school 10 minutes too early, how long must you wait for the lesson to begin? If you arrive here at
If
the
I
school 10 minutes too early, how long must you wait for the lesson to begin? If I
if
arrive
I
here
arrive
at the
here
school
early
10 minutes too early,
10 minutes too
I
early,
must wait
I
10
will
minutes for
wait
the
10
lesson
minutes
to begin.
for the lesson to begin.
Very good. Is it pleasant to wait for somebody in the rain? Is it pleasant to wait for somebody in the rain? No, it isn't
No, it
pleasant
isn't
to wait for
pleasant to
somebody
wait
in the
somebody
rain. It's
in the rain.
unpleasant.
Unpleasant.
Very good. What's the difference between the words ever and never? What's the difference between the words ever and never? The difference between
Difference
the words
between
ever and
the
never
word of ever and never
is that the
is
word ever is positive
the word of ever is a positive
and is generally used
and
in
generally
questions,
used in
whilst the
questions.
word never
Well,
is
the
negative.
word is negative.
Does it snow in the south of Italy in summer? Does it snow in the south of Italy in summer? No, it
No,
never snows
it
in the
never
south
snows
of
in the
Italy in
south
summer.
February in summer.
Do you ever come here on Sunday? Do you ever come here on Sunday? Well, it's Sunday. No, I never come here
I never come here
on
on
Sunday.
Sunday.
Yeah, it's like in the school. Okay. Does the sun ever shine during the night? Does the sun ever shine during the night? No, the sun
No,
never
the sun
shines
never
during the
shines
night.
during the night.
Is Christmas ever on the 21st of December? Is Christmas ever on the 21st of December? No, Christmas is
No,
never on
Christmas
the
is never
21st
on
of
the
December.
21st of December.
It's always on the 25th
It's
of December.
always on the 25th of the December.
December. Very good. Okay, what's this? What's this? It's a square.
The square,
What's this? What's this? It's a circle.
circle.
Very good. Is the face of my watch square? Is the face of my watch square? No. The
No,
face of your
face
watch
of your
isn't
watch
square.
isn't
It's
square.
round.
It's round.
Very good. How many pictures are there round these walls? How many pictures are there round these walls? There are two
There were
pictures
two
round those
pictures
walls.
on the walls.
Very good. Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? Does she walk round the classroom during the lesson? No, she
No,
doesn't walk
doesn't walk
round the
during the
classroom. Round the
round the
classroom
classroom
during the
during the
lesson.
lesson.
She sits on her chair.
She sits on her chair.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're shaking your pen.
You're shaking your pen.
Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? Do you always shake hands with your friends every time you see them? No, I
No,
don't
I don't
always
always
shake hands with my friends
shake hands with my
every
friends
time I see them.
every time I see them.
Very good. Okay, what am I doing? What am I doing? You're nodding
You
your head.
your head.
Do we nod our heads when we say no? Do we nod our heads when we say no? No, we
No,
don't
we don't
nod
know
our heads
nowadays when we
when
say no.
we shake our heads
We shake
when
our
we say
heads
no.
when we say no.
Very good. What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? What do we call this direct method we are using for learning English? We call
We
this
call
direct
this
method we are using
direct method
for
we are
learning
using
English
to
the
learn
Callan method.
English, the column method.
By this method, the students translate before speaking. By this method, do students translate before speaking? No. By this
So
method,
by this
students
method,
don't translate
then
before speaking.
translate for the
They
speak.
think and speak
They think
directly
and
in the
speak
new
directly
language.
in language.
Is it more or less time to go to bed? Is it more or less time to go to bed? Yes or no?
No,
It's
it is more or less time
time to
to
go
go
to
to
bed.
bed.
Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Are the countries of Europe more or less friends today? Yes, the countries
No,
of Europe.
yes, the
The countries
countries of
of Europe
Europe
are more or less friends
are
today.
more friends
Yeah,
today.
except Russia, maybe. Okay. What kind of accent do you speak English with? What kind of accent do you speak English with? I speak
I
English
speak
with a
English,
Japanese accent.
uh, Japanese accent.
Where's the accent in the word excellent? Where's the accent in the word excellent? The accent in the word
The
excellent
accent in the
is
word
on
of
the first
excellence
syllable.
is the syllable.
Very good. Okay, so that's the end of our revision. Let's have new word.
Mm.
Okay,
Okay.
so repeat. To depend on.
To depend on.
Very good. Okay, listen. To depend on is a verb. One meaning of to depend on is to need something from need someone for something. For example, children depend on their parents for everything. Another meaning of to depend on is when one thing happens before another. For example, some people buy expensive clothes, other cheap clothes. It depends on how much money they have. Let's practice. Do children depend on their parents for money? Do children depend on their parents for money? Yes,
Yes,
children depend on their
depend
parents for
on
money.
money for
Some
money.
some people eat in
Some
expensive
people
restaurants. Other eat in cheap restaurants. What does this depend on? Some people eat in expensive
some
restaurants.
people eat
Uh,
in expensive restaurants,
Other eat
whereas
in cheap restaurants.
others eat in cheap
It
restaurants.
depends on how much
Depends
money
on how much money they have.
they have. Very good. During the day it's light, whilst during the night it's dark. What does this depend on? During the day it's light, whilst during the night it's dark. What does this depend on? It depends
That
on the sun
it depends on the
and
sun,
where it is in the sky.
where it is the sky,
Very good. Let's repeat. Cloud.
cloud.
Very good. Okay, listen. Cloud is a noun. Cloud are made of water. We can see clouds in the sky. Let's practice. Are there any clouds in the sky today? Are there any clouds in the sky today? Yes or no?
Yes, there are skies in
There
the
are some clouds
there are some clouds in the sky.
today. Very good.
Okay.
What are clouds made of? What are clouds made of? Clouds are
Clouds
made of
are made
water.
of water.
Very good. Next, repeat. Remember.
Remember,
Forget.
forget.
Very good. Okay, listen. Remember is a verb. For example, I remember the name of this thing. It's a pen. I remember his name. His name's, where is he? He's Mr. Brown. Forget is the opposite of remember. For example, I don't always remember everything I learn. Some things I remember and some things I forget. Let's practice. Do you always remember everything you learn? Do you always remember everything you learn? No, I
No,
don't always remember everything I
I
learn.
don't always remember everything I
Some
learn.
things I remember
Something I
and some
remember,
things I forget.
some things I forget.
Do you remember when to use the capital letters in English? Do you remember when to use the capital letters in English? Yes or no?
Yes, I
I
remember what thing in
when to use capital
when
letters
when to use capital
in
letters
English.
in English.
Tell me please. We use capital letters
Use
at the
capital
beginning
letters
of a
at the
sentence
beginning of a
for the
sentence.
pronoun I
Pronoun
and
I
for the first letter
for the
of
first
people's
letter of
names,
people's
place
names,
names,
place
days of
names,
the week,
days
months
of the
of the
week,
year,
month of
months,
the year,
nationalities, and languages.
nationalities, and what's the last one?
Languages.
Languages.
Very good. Do you remember the name of this thing? Do you remember the name of this thing? Yes, I
Yes, I
remember the
remember
name of the thing.
the,
It's a pen.
the thing. It's a pen.
Do you ever forget to answer emails? Do you ever forget to answer emails? Yes, I
Yes,
sometimes
I
forget to answer
sometimes
emails.
forget to answer emails.
Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Do you ever forget the names or faces of people you know? Yes or no?
Yes, I forget the
I
people's name and faces.
One more. Yes, I sometimes
Yes,
forget
I
the
sometimes
names or
forget
faces of
name
people I know.
or
Faces
faces people I know.
I
Hmm?
know
Names or faces people I know.
of people I know.
Of
Very good.
people I know.
Wait, one more. Yes, I sometimes forget
Yes, I
the
sometimes
names or
forget the
faces of
names or
people I
faces
know.
of people I know.
Very good. Next, repeat. Nearly.
Nearly.
Very good. Okay, nearly has the same meaning of more or less. For example, it's more or less time to go home, or it's nearly time to go home. Okay, let's practice. Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Are we nearly at the end of the lesson? Yes or no?
Yes,
We're
we are
nearly at the end of the
at
lesson.
the end of the lesson.
Are we nearly in autumn? Are we nearly in autumn? Yes or no?
No,
We
we
aren't
are not.
nearly. We aren't
We
nearly
aren't
in
nearly
autumn.
in autumn, but it's difficult to
Yeah, that's
judge.
okay. It's like in the middle, right? Okay. Is it nearly time to go to bed? Is it nearly time to go to bed? No, it
No,
isn't
is it
nearly time.
nearly time to go
Go
to
to
bed?
bed. Very good. Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Are you nearly always the last person to get up in your family? Yes or no?
No, I'm
I'm not
not
nearly always the
nearly
last person
always a person.
to get up in my family. My who?
My
My father is
father
nearly
is,
always my
is
father
always
is nearly always the last
is
person
nearly
to
always
get
the last
up in
person
my
to get
family.
up in my family.
Very good. Next repeat. Wasn't,
Wasn't,
weren't.
weren't.
Very good. Okay, listen. The negative of I was is I was not. Contraction is I wasn't. Whilst the negative of you were is you were not, or the contraction is you weren't. Okay, let's practice. What's the negative of I was? What's the negative of I was? The negative of I
The
was
negative of
is
what
I
was
wasn't.
is I wasn't.
What's the negative of you were? What's the negative of you were? The negative of
The
you were
negative
is
of
you
you
weren't.
are is you.
Was I at this school 50 years ago? Was I at this school 50 years ago? No, you weren't
No,
at this school 50 years ago.
school 3 years ago.
Were you here 100 years ago? Were you here 100 years ago? No, I
No,
wasn't
I
here a hundred years
wasn't
ago.
here 100 years ago.
Very good. Was she in a different classroom last lesson? Was she in a different classroom last lesson? No, she
No,
wasn't
she
in a
wasn't
different
in
classroom
the
last
different
lesson.
classroom last
Last
lesson.
lesson. Were we in this world 90 years ago? Oh, were we in this world 90 years ago? No, we weren't
No, we
in this
weren't
world
in this
90 years
room
ago. This
90
world
years. This world
90 years
yeah,
ago.
90 years ago.
Very good. Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? Were they outside the classroom during the last lesson? No, they
No,
weren't
they
outside the classroom
weren't in the
during the
classroom
last lesson.
during the last
They were
lesson.
inside
They were inside of the
classroom. Very good.
classroom.
Next, repeat field.
Feel
Regular
the
listen.
feel.
Field. Field is a noun. It is a piece of land without trees or buildings that we use for planting or playing sport. For example, like rice fields, football field, baseball field. There are a lot of fields near the place where I live. I live in the countryside. Let's practice. Are there any fields near where you live? Are there any fields near where you live? Yes or no?
No,
There aren't
there
any
aren't
fields
any
near where I
fields
live.
near where I live.
Very good. Okay, last one. Increase.
Increase.
Very good. Okay, listen. Increase is a verb which means to go up or to go up. For example, the number of teachers in this school last year was about 500. This year it became 800. The number of teachers in this school is increasing. Okay, let's practice. Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Is the number of people in your town always increasing? Yes, the number of people
The
in my
number of
town
people
is always
in my town
increasing.
is increasing.
Very good. Okay, now let's move on to reading.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, reading is a
I like reading.
uh
Page 3.
yeah, stage 3, page 145. Yeah, I remember you love reading. Yeah. Okay,
145.
145. Last headword was arrive. Okay, start with the question: are you the first to arrive in the classroom? Second question.
Uh, 145.
145. Headword arrive, leave.
Okay.
Okay, second
What
question.
time do you? Okay. Are you the first to arrive in the classroom? Yes, I'm the first to arrive in the classroom. What time do you leave here after the lesson? I leave here at 11
AM after the
after.
lesson.
What time do you leave home to come here? I leave home at
About
about 10:30
to come here.
to come. Do you leave your books in the classroom after the lesson? No, I don't leave my books in the classroom after the lesson. Do you any food on your plate after a meal? No, I don't leave any food on my plate after a meal. Sun, sky. What can we see in the sky during the day? We can see the sun in the sky during the day. What color is the sun? The sun's color of gold. What color is the sky today? The sky is blue today. Sea, land, by the sea, inland Africa, Mediterranean. Do you live on the sea? No, I don't live on the sea. I live on the land.
Mhm.
What's the name of the sea between Europe and North Africa? The name of the sea between Europe and North Africa is the Mediterranean Sea. Is Moscow by the sea? No, Moscow isn't by the sea. It's inland. Is New York inland? No, New York isn't inland. It's by the sea. Once, twice, three times. What's this? It's once 5 equals 5. It's twice 5 equals 10. It's 3 times 5 equals 15. It's 4 times 5 equals 20. How much is once 90? Huh?
Uh-huh.
How much is once 90?
Once
Once
90.
90 equals 90. How much is twice 50? Twice 50 is 100. How much is 3 times 13? 3 times 13 is 39. How many times a
Blah blah.
week do you come here? I come here se- hmm?
I come here
7 days a week.
7 days a week, every day. Very good. Blah blah.
How many times a month do you go to the cinema? I go to the cinema about once a month. Uh,
How
my
many
page
times?
and
Uh-huh.
or
It's not loading.
or maybe not loading. My what I'm looking at now is 147. How many times a month do you go to the cinema? Is the last line.
Okay, it's not loading anymore.
Mm,
Oh,
no.
okay. So we stop there for today, and we
Okay.
continue new work though. Okay, why is that like not loading?
Maybe native camp server is so
Slow.
not so slow. Maybe.
Always slow though. Okay, but very good. Okay, well, anyway, we only have like 17 seconds left. So, what's your plan
Mm.
after this? Breakfast or lunch already?
I clean my room.
Yeah, very hard task. Better than working. Okay, thank you very much. See you again.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay, bye
Bye
bye.
bye.